This is Art Deco commercializing the avant-garde, on view now at Poster House. This exhibition covers the 1920s and 30s in graphic design history, highlighting some of the rarest and most beautiful pieces of poster art in the world. We have posters from every possible country, emphasizing how Art Deco was the first global art movement. We have pieces from France, from Switzerland, from Yugoslavia, and my major thesis in this exhibition is how Art Deco is actually a made-up term. It was invented in the 1960s. What we think of as Art Deco in advertising is actually the regionalized expression of local avant-garde movements made commercial. This piece in particular is one of my favorites. It might be the only surviving copy of this incredibly rare billboard for a furniture company by A.M. Cassandra. We also have great examples of Japanese Art Deco, of French Art Deco. So this is the incredibly rare Dubonnet triptych by A.M. Cassandra. Now what's happening here that's very, very clever, there's this apocryphal story that Cassandra apparently was working on this poster and either the doorbell rang or the phone rang, and so he stepped away for a minute. And when he came back, he realized that only half the word of the company's name was filled in. And then he realized I'm a genius, because phonetically in French, du beau looks good, du bon tastes good, Dubonnet, the name of the brand. That's genius. This is also one of the first moments where you have narrative expression, like the stills from a comic book in graphic design at a large scale. It's a genius example of beautiful poster art during the Deco period. People have been collecting posters since posters first started appearing on the walls of Paris in the 1880s. Poster dealers were really just print dealers who realized they could sell more stuff to their clients if they incorporated posters into their offerings. Art Deco posters were collected at the same time that they were being printed and brought into people's homes and added to their collections. In fact, the 1920s and 30s were when some of the biggest and best and most famous poster collections were really made. Poster collections that were not just 10,000, but like 50,000, 100,000 posters. Something I'm thinking of particularly is the Hans Sachs collection. That was just possibly the greatest poster collection of all time and included many of the posters in this exhibition. So we end the exhibition with this poster by Joseph Binder. It's for the 1939 World's Fair in New York. And it's in the section called The Death of Deco, which is essentially 1939. World War II is on the horizon. Production is outweighing consumption. The glory of Art Deco, so like that Great Gatsby era, is no longer fashionable or even possible because of the Great Depression. So a poster like this is kind of that last hurrah of optimism before we go into wartime. I love this poster because you've got the tri-line perisphere, you've got a train coming from across America to New York, a ship coming across the Atlantic. So it's so full of promise, so full of beauty, and yet the 1939's World's Fair was a massive financial disaster. So we use this as the last example in the show. And also it's the only American poster in the show because America didn't really have Art Deco posters. We did Deco in everything else, but not in graphic design.